The CEO abandoned her car at a repair shop. What the mechanic found changed everything. Before we begin, imagine this. You're cleaning out the back seat of an expensive luxury car that its owner never bothered to return for. You expect to find empty coffee cups, old receipts, maybe a forgotten pair of sunglasses. Instead, hidden beneath the trunk lining, you discover a dusty envelope with your own name written on it, in handwriting you've never seen before. Inside is a photograph that connects your family to one of the richest women in the city, and a secret that has been buried for over 25 years. If stories filled with mystery, emotion, hope, and life-changing moments inspire you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Every week, we bring you unforgettable stories that remind us how a single decision can change an entire life. Now, settle in, because today's story begins with a broken car, but ends with something far more valuable than money. Rain drummed steadily against the rusted metal roof of Miller's Auto Repair, a modest garage tucked away on the edge of town. The place wasn't glamorous. Oil stains covered the concrete floor. Toolboxes lined the walls, each bearing years of scratches and dents. The waiting room consisted of 3 mismatched chairs, a faded coffee machine that worked only when it wanted to, and a small radio that played old songs through static. For 32-year-old Ethan Miller, however, it was home. Every morning before sunrise, Ethan unlocked the garage doors, brewed fresh coffee, and got to work. He had inherited the shop from his father, who had passed away after battling cancer. The business barely earned enough to cover expenses, but Ethan refused to sell it. His father had built the garage with his own hands, brick by brick, believing honest work mattered more than easy money. Those words echoed in Ethan's mind every day. People don't just bring you broken cars, his father used to say. They bring pieces of their lives. Treat both with respect. Ethan had never forgotten. Business had been unusually slow for weeks. Rising costs, newer dealerships, and flashy repair franchises had stolen many customers. Bills piled higher on his cluttered desk. The bank had already sent 2 warnings about overdue loan payments. He didn't tell anyone how worried he was. Instead, he smiled whenever customers arrived. One gray Thursday afternoon, just before closing time, the unmistakable sound of a high-performance engine echoed outside the garage. Ethan looked up from beneath an old pickup truck. A sleek black luxury sedan rolled slowly into the parking lot. Its polished exterior gleamed even beneath the rain. The vehicle alone cost more than Ethan's entire repair shop. A woman stepped out. She wore a charcoal business suit beneath a long beige coat. Her heels clicked confidently across the wet pavement, despite the weather. Her posture radiated authority. Yet something about her expression suggested exhaustion far deeper than physical fatigue. She looked around the garage, as if wondering whether she'd made a terrible mistake. Ethan wiped grease from his hands. Afternoon. What seems to be the problem? The woman hesitated. My assistant usually handles these things. Today's different? She offered a faint smile. I suppose it is. She handed him the keys. The dashboard lit up with warning lights during a meeting. Then the engine began making a strange knocking sound. Every dealership I called said they couldn't even inspect it for another 2 weeks. Ethan nodded. I'll take a look. She glanced at her expensive watch. Can you have someone drive me downtown? My truck isn't exactly luxury transportation. I don't care. 15 minutes later, Ethan drove the mysterious woman into the city. Neither spoke much. Traffic crawled through rain-soaked streets. As they approached a towering glass skyscraper, Ethan realized where she worked. The building bore the enormous silver letters. Harrington Global, one of the largest companies in the country. The woman thanked him politely before stepping out. Only then did Ethan notice the security guard straightening immediately. Employees hurried toward the entrance. Everyone seemed nervous. One whispered, "She's back." Another muttered, "The board meeting starts in 5 minutes." Ethan frowned. Who exactly was she? Before he could ask, the doors closed behind her. Back at the garage, curiosity got the better of him. He checked the registration papers. Owner, Victoria Harrington. His eyes widened. Even people who never followed business news knew the name. Victoria Harrington. CO, billionaire, one of the youngest women ever to lead a Fortune 500 company. Newspapers often described her as brilliant, relentless, and emotionally distant. Some called her the Ice Queen of Wall Street. Others admired her ability to rescue failing companies. But everyone agreed on one thing: she never wasted time, which made it even stranger that she had chosen a tiny neighborhood garage instead of one of the city's elite dealerships. Ethan shrugged. A car was still a car. He opened the hood. Within minutes, he identified several mechanical problems that should have been simple to repair. Yet something didn't make sense. The engine showed signs of recent work. Very recent. Someone had replaced expensive components. Poorly. Bolts had been over-tightened. Electrical connectors sat loosely. Several wires appeared intentionally damaged. Not accidentally. Deliberately. Ethan leaned closer. Who worked on this thing? He photographed everything before beginning repairs. Years of experience told him something wasn't right. This wasn't incompetence. Someone had wanted the vehicle to fail. Over the next 3 days, Ethan repaired the engine piece by piece. Victoria never called. No assistant contacted him. No one asked about the car. By the end of the week, the sedan ran perfectly. He phoned the number listed on the paperwork. Voicemail. Again the next morning. Nothing. Another week passed. Still no answer. 30 days later, state regulations allowed him to begin paperwork regarding abandoned property. He hated doing it, but storage space was limited. His accountant reminded him constantly. The longer that car sits there, the more money you're losing. Finally, nearly 7 weeks after Victoria had disappeared, Ethan received a brief email from an unfamiliar address. I'm no longer in need of the vehicle. Dispose of it according to local regulations. Keep whatever proceeds remain after expenses. No signature. No explanation. Just one sentence. It felt oddly cold. For someone whose car was worth well over $200,000, abandoning it made no financial sense whatsoever. Still, Ethan followed procedure. Before arranging an auction, he performed one last inspection. His father had taught him to check every compartment carefully. People forgot all kinds of valuables. Wedding rings, passports, cash, photographs. Sometimes memories mattered more than anything else. He vacuumed beneath the seats. Nothing. He checked the glove compartment. Only owner's manuals. Then he opened the trunk. Everything appeared empty, until he noticed something unusual. The carpet lining didn't sit perfectly flat. One corner had been glued back into place. Carefully, almost professionally, curiosity stirred. Using a plastic trim tool, Ethan gently lifted the lining. Beneath it sat a narrow metal compartment he had never seen before. Factory hidden storage. The latch resisted. After several attempts, it clicked open. Inside rested a faded brown envelope coated with years of dust despite the car itself being relatively new. Confused, Ethan picked it up. There was no stamp, no mailing address, only 2 handwritten words across the front. For Ethan. He froze. His heartbeat quickened. How could someone he'd met only once have prepared an envelope with his name hidden inside a secret compartment? His hands trembled as he slowly opened it. Inside lay a single old photograph. The edges had yellowed with age. It showed 2 young adults standing beside a half-built auto repair garage. One was unmistakably Ethan's father, Daniel Miller, smiling broadly while holding a wrench. The other, his breath caught. It was a young woman. She looked almost identical to Victoria Harrington. Same eyes, same smile, same unmistakable features. Across the back of the photograph, someone had written 6 haunting words. When the truth is safe, find him. Before Ethan could even process what he was holding, his phone rang. The caller ID displayed an unknown number. He answered cautiously. A frightened female voice whispered only one sentence. Mr. Miller, if you open the envelope, you need to leave your garage immediately. Then the line went dead. Outside, through the rain-speckled front window, a black SUV slowly pulled into the parking lot. Its headlights remained on. The engine never stopped running. And 2 men in dark suits stepped out, scanning the garage as if they were searching for someone. Ethan instinctively tightened his grip on the photograph. Whatever secret his late father had left behind, Someone else has spent 25 years trying to keep it buried.